to the re-recorded episode of the first episode of the Thieves Guild, which is technically the second episode, but I'm gonna stop talking before we all get our wires crossed. Hi, guys!
Hey.
Hello, hello.
How's it going?
We
How are you
changed the
doing?
format. I'm doing all right. I'm glad we changed the format, because this started with just Vince and I love that we have, like, topics now. It feels like a real show, you know what I mean?
A little more on rails, a little more hinged. Still unhinged, but you know.
Only slightly more hinged. Only slightly.
Not as
too much
crazy
credit.
train.
Yes, I am unmuted this time. I'm unmuted this time. I've confirmed it. I will take a picture to prove that I am not muted. My picture has been taken. So if there's anything wrong with the audio, it's not because I'm not muted this time. Oh, how is everyone? What are your guys'... What'd you bring to the table for me today?
Megan, you first.
Okay, yeah. Well, so I have something really fun to talk about. I'm going to be talking about Dungeons and Dragons in the presence of other forms of media. So like films, TV shows, books, games, etc. So I'm really excited for that.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of got hyper fixated after hearing another creator mention spells over 9th level in a video, and I was like, what do you mean? Wait, over 9th? So I have found a list of spells that go past 9th level, and
Nice.
They're a little insane. I like it. I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm excited.
Well, there's probably more too, because I didn't let you loose on the Ed Greenwood Discord. I am sure there is more in there that we have not found.
Almost certainly.
I brought to the table something much less whimsical. I'm so sorry. I brought Dungeons and Dragons and the Satanic Panic for
Great.
my D&D in the Zeitgeist segment. So we'll get the painful part over with. It's not all painful. If I'm being honest, it's not all painful. A lot of it's pretty weird, and I do have some questions because of it. So it shouldn't be depressing. It's just more like it's frustrating.
Sounds good.
Yeah. We're shooting this just after we started campaign 3. By the way, this is how long these audio issues have persisted. That just elude me, because it wouldn't be an Attack of Opportunity show without tech problems.
Well,
all
and
hail
also
tech.
scheduling issues.
Yes, the killer of D&D. Scheduling. Okay, so how much do you guys know about the Satanic Panic?
Not a lot. I first heard about it in kind of overheard about it in some sort of like TV show, and then it really didn't kind of hit me what it was until I was watching Stranger Things.
That's fair.
I mean, being a card-carrying member of the Satanic Temple, I know a fair amount of it. I don't know it intimately, as I probably should, but I do know quite a bit about it. But I'm always glad to hear a refresher, maybe elucidate me on more about it that I might not be aware of.
Elucidate, that's an excellent word. Okay, so I'm lighting my spooky candle for this.
Ooh.
Also, if any of you out there have Bath & Body Works Moonlit Graveyard and you're not going to burn it, email me. I will buy it from you. They don't make it anymore, and I'm mad because it smells like the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, nice.
It's so good. And this is my last one. So, the Satanic Panic is mostly the late 70s and the early 80s. What people don't talk about is how it carried through some of these kind of pervasive ideas into the 90s and the 2000s and beyond. You know, like people's grandmothers being like, well, I don't want you playing that Dungeons and Dragons, and then be like, oh, this is just math. I got mad over math. Like, yeah, you did, Grandma. Sorry about that. So this whole thing started in 1979. Not even as old as my car. Not even a whole, like, adult older than me. When James Dallas Egbert III disappeared from Michigan State University. So here's kind of the breakdown of it, is this kid disappears, and what nobody tells anyone at the time is he's struggling to make friends, he's struggling with his classes, he's really struggling with his mental health. So instead of going, oh my god, we have to find this kid and, like, make sure he has the support he needs, no, they hired a private investigator named William Deere, and despite knowing nothing about the game, William Deere attributed James's disappearance to D&D, even in the even in the face of overwhelming proof that James was struggling with drug addiction, self-harm, and clinical depression.
Oof.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
What happened is he had a bit of a mentee bee, and ran off into, and this is where it gets unhinged, the tunnels beneath the bowels of the school.
It says in Michigan?
There's no more information about these tunnels, by the way. I've looked.
Like, there's not? Like, we don't know if they're, like, trash tunnels or, like, mole people tunnels.
Idea. Is it a utilidor system? Is it subterranean classrooms? Is there a society that I have no idea, but I really need to know.
Bomb shelters.
And this in Michigan, you said, yeah?
This is Michigan State University.
Oh.
That's a weird area. Like, if this were, like, East Coast, I would be like, yeah, okay, like, that's what's old compared to, especially as we go further and further west, older.
This is
Michigan's
basically Canada.
Kind of mid. That's all right. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jesus
they
Christ,
did
that
find
private
him.
detective.
Good.
That private detective is holy shit.
Yeah.
You know what? That really helped my imposter syndrome a lot. I just have to remember things like that.
Well, and
like that guy
remember,
had a license.
Cops have less training than hairdressers, and private detectives have less training than cops.
Shit, I did not know that.
Cops have about 25% amount of hours in training than I was required to have as a hairdresser, and they don't have operational testing like we have to do. And private investigators have about 25% of what a cop has.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god.
Yeah. When I looked it up, the whole internet's basically like, this is an unregulated field, please stop, this is vigilanteism, we are not on board with this.
Dick.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Great.
So, they found him, and went, this is all that D&D you're playing, and didn't help him. So, ultimately, it was for naught. I mean, James, less than a year later, in 1980, decided to make his exit via that same self-harm in a battle of depression. And both his family and anti-D&D activists were like, oh, well, it's the game. Without knowing anything about it. And this kind of set off, like, just a cascading series of events, because 2 years later, Irving Lee Pulling passed in an act of self-violence when he was struggling at school and socially and just, like, emotionally, and also lacked support. And his mother blamed D&D and attempted to sue the school principal who was running the after-school campaign that Irving had been playing in. She claimed, and this is a direct quote, "A curse upon my son's character in game was real." She claimed that the principal, who, as the DM, placed a curse on Pulling's character character, somehow transferred the curse onto her son.
That's giving the same energy as those people who were like, "Oh, these Labubus are demonic. Don't let these demonic Labubus into your home."
These
like,
Labubu rhymes with Pazuzu, and therefore it's evil. Like, please stop buying and burning the Pop Mart monsters. I really wanted the one that looked like Where the Wild Things Are, and I didn't buy it, and then all of a sudden they got popular, and now they're both popular, and you're destroying them. They're like $40. I just wanted some whimsy for my freaking purse.
They do look possessed, though. Like, you gotta admit, it's the teeth and the big eyes.
There's an artist that I won't dox their name because I work with them, but they go by Part-Time Pisces on TikTok, and they make creepy Pop Mart Monsters Labubu dolls. They buy counterfeits and then like clay sculpt their faces into these horrifying creatures with like big ugly teeth and bug eyes. Like, they're great.
That's awesome.
Those might be demonic.
I want one of those.
No, they're not.
They're not. But like, if they all looked like that, okay, yeah, I could see someone being a little creeped out. But like, whimsy. You're afraid of whimsy and math is what this reduces to.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, it gets worse, right? The school didn't let her sue the principal. So, let me see here. Yeah, this is correct. She attempted to sue the publisher TSR. Thankfully, the court was like, no, we're not doing, no, and dismissed the case. But she really said, well, if you're not going to go after the principal that cursed my son, I'm going to go after the people who published the book. Like,
the logic is not logicking for me.
It's not
Some
mathing,
people really
right?
need help.
Some people maybe really need to learn to play D&D. Their math skills might be better.
My math skills are no better for playing D&D. That's not accurate. I still count on my hand.
So it gets stupid, right? Instead of being like, oh, well, I was dismissed by the court, so obviously, like, I am letting my emotions get to me. Maybe I should go to therapy. Maybe I should seek family counseling for the grief that I'm clearly going through. No, she didn't do any of that. Instead, in 1983, Irving's mom started Bothered About Dungeons and Dragons, also known as BAD. It was a organization of mothers that were against their children playing Dungeons and Dragons and the dangers of the Dungeons and the Dragons. It's
Oh God.
That's a great acronym, though.
So like, she defamed the game and twisted its narrative and purpose, like really thoroughly, like really calculatedly, in an attempt to make it seem dangerous, demonic, and a whole other host of adjectives that culminated in a 60 Minutes interview opposite Gary Gygax, creator of the game.
Oh, wow.
I still have yet to find this interview. I need to find this interview.
It's got to be out there.
It's got to be out there. If I find it, I'll see how much of it that I can insert as a clip here. And if I can't find it, it's just going to be a really awkward pause, and I'll link it in the Discord if I can find it, and I can't put it in here for you guys, but it's got to exist somewhere.
We can put big flashing letters that said, could not find. Does not exist.
Nope. Oh, wait, hang on, I gotta set this up. Editor's note. Nope. Now I can actually put it on my box. Yeah, what do you even say? What do you even say? Because it's like, it's not that Gygax didn't have his problems, but soul stealing and deadly curses were not on that list. Of all the things you could go after the man for, that wasn't it. And what do you even say? What kind of delusional do you have to be to like get on national television and just be like, I am standing by my point in the face of the creator of the game, and here is the crap that I believe. Like, all you're doing is hurting people.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Great
find
news.
it?
Thank you, Internet Archive. I have to watch it and confirm everything because it's a total about just shy of 20 minutes
Oh wow.
Okay.
of interview. It's in 2 parts, so I'll have to see if it's the whole thing. But Internet Archive has it. It looks crunchy. No.
It
Oh,
probably
well,
was
you know.
crunchy. This was 1983.
So-
Yeah, this is definitely crunchy.
Well, with how things are broadcast in CRT, things like that, it wouldn't have been that bad. But yeah, that's
I'm so excited to watch
Oh
that.
yeah,
Actually.
thank you. I know, right? Maybe we'll do a group watch, so we can put our thoughts in the second half of the podcast. That could be fun.
Ooh, yeah.
yeah. There we go.
Okay, so like, it can't get worse. It can't get worse from there, right?
Uh, I'm scared.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
I'm
I
in
hate
danger.
this. I hate this. I'm in danger. In 85, religious zealots in the US and the UK decided to take this one step further and begin presenting Dungeons and Dragons as a gateway to demonic possession. Sorry, this deserves serif quotes. A gateway to demonic possession. Uh, even going so far as to ask vicars of the church to remove the core rulebooks from shared living areas on the grounds that they were allegedly offensive for, again, serif, because church, encouraging demon worship within the clergy.
Okay. Quick side note. However, I have a little more respect for any clergyman that was playing Dungeons and Dragons and had those
Right?
materials with like other source books
And
and,
had
things
to
like
be
that.
asked to remove them.
Oh my god.
That's kind of based. That's kind of
That's pretty
based.
funny.
Great. I'm picturing them like prying up a floorboard and shoving their D&D books under there, or like stuffing it under their mattresses
Aw.
like contraband.
Aww.
Well, that
These poor
is so. It's
babies.
basically, is it a like? I'm curious though. Are you all playing clerics, paladins, or are you horny bards? Like,
Right? If you were part of the clergy, if you were a vicar, if you were actually, you know,
What class you playing,
here's the
bud?
question that I have. Here's the question that I have. Are or were you a cardinal that plays Dungeons and Dragons? If so, I'm happy to interview you anonymously, but I have some questions that I would love answers to put on this show. Like, that would be great. I can voice modulate you and everything. Technology is excellent, but I have questions. So like, that's where it stops, right? That's where it stops, is that it's encouraging demon worship.
no,
It
unfortunately.
never does.
No, it never does it? So, Pulling and the Federation University of Australia, as well as various Judeo-Christian religious institutions in the US and the UK, all start touting that. Okay, I need to make this YouTube friendly. How to make this YouTube friendly? We're gonna do some verbal gymnastics here. Dungeons and Dragons does not just cause an encouragement of demonic worship, but it's also leading your children to be queer, to be trans, to engage in the world's oldest profession, to commit religious taboos, and of course, the ultimate sin of being an alternative kid. God forbid your kid is gonna play Dungeons and Dragons and they're gonna turn out goth! Yeah.
Cool.
Here, malding all of this. No big
They're
deal.
gonna go turn goth and listen to that heavy metal music. All because of that Dungeons and Dragons.
Look, okay, there is crossover. That Venn diagram is nearly a circle, but like causation versus correlation. You gotta remember that.
Well, and it's up there with calling AC/DC Antichrist Devil's Child. Like it's just
God.
it is a sacrament of like nerddom to be some kind of alternative, to have either a tabletop or a video game that you really play, and to have one of a few kinds of musics that you're just really, really nuts about. But it's also a testament to media illiteracy of how it's always been like, oh, well, this causes this because I think that things that are loud are dangerous. Like,
Loud dog.
yeah, it's rage inducing. It's
Yeah.
media illiteracy has always
100%.
been a problem,
Oh.
and when I look back on it, I'm like, oh, no, it's always been like this. I'm just hearing more about it because people learned how to use TikTok. Great, perfect. So it doesn't get worse from here, thankfully. It stays about the same for a little bit. Dr. David Waldron of Federation University Australia started citing the Christian rights view that youth somehow were incapable of distinguishing fantasy from reality. And, you know, that this was causing dangers to children because, of course, their curses were coming true and they were going off to fight dragons that they thought existed because they thought this world was real, and it's just so dangerous they couldn't know. Yeah, funny that. Isn't Irving Lee Pulling's mom the one who seemingly can't distinguish fantasy from reality?
Yeah, there's a lot of projecting there, and it's just another thing too. Like,
100%.
okay, yeah, maybe a 3-year-old can't distinguish fantasy from reality. Sure, absolutely. A teenager, early preteen, 10, 12, fuck off.
A 3-year-old also can't distinguish Windex from Listerine. Like, why are we expecting them to distinguish fantasy from reality?
Yeah, it's such a fucking.
It's escapism, you know, like
Mhm.
people want to escape to these worlds and these fantasies to get away from this one. I was trying to be
and
nice about it, but
No, you don't have
I
to be
want to
nice.
ask
It's
that.
cool.
I want to ask like people who take that like stance too of like, okay, cool. When you turn on the TV, do you think you're watching documentaries all the time? Do you think everything that's on TV is a documentary? Because that's the energy you're giving
I
when
mean, a
when
lot
you
of
say
people
things like that.
do.
When someone says something like that. Yeah.
So-
Okay. Actually, you know what I immediately think of though, and it was done in a funny way. Was who's seen Galaxy Quest here?
Oh God, yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Which on the D&D media, I know it's not D&D, but that is so like
Oh no, it's on my
just
list.
hand in
I
hand.
would
It's-
consider
Okay,
it
good.
D&D adjacent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
100%.
anything that's D&D adjacent is on my list, and that is pretty high up on my list because I
Yeah.
fucking love that movie.
Yeah, but they're like, oh, the historical documents. I'm like,
Yeah.
What?
So here's where it gets better. In 1990, 1990, Mike Stackpole publishes what is now referred to as the Pulling Report, in which he outlines every mistake and discrepancy in the stories pushed, televised, and published by Bothered About Dungeons and Dragons and by
Wow.
Mrs. Pulling.
God, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. So
Especially then
basically
too.
that
Like, you know.
led to the World Health Organization looking into, this mass concern about D&D, wherein health organizations worldwide have confirmed thoroughly and repeatedly that there is not even so much as a casual link between Dungeons and Dragons and self-harm or depression. And in fact, many people who engage in tabletop role-playing games, story games, and role-playing games in general show healthier, more balanced emotional intelligence and brain function.
Oh, who did this? So, way to go,
Right.
who?
And like the way that that's changed the perspective over time is just leaps and bounds better. You know, we're now seeing multi-generational tables of play engage
Yeah.
in D&D, many people use it to help them work through complex things that they're struggling with, like grief or gender dysphoria or things of that nature. Um, and it's really awesome to see that whether by playing yourself or vicariously through things like actual play series like ours, A History of the Forgotten Realms, or Dimension 20, or Critical Role, or Dungeons and Daddies, or Legends of Aventress, that people have that tool. It's why Nerds for Literacy is doing what they're doing. Is you have so many of these kids and teens struggling with emotional intelligence and balance and feeling supported because they don't have good role models. But they don't have those good role models because they don't have books to read and because the literacy rates are really low. So the best thing we can do is get together a massive cash infusion from all the nerds around the world and give kids books, right?
Yeah.
The ways that it's stayed the same are kind of crappy. There's still a lot of elitism in Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot of people who think women and non-binary people and alternative kids should not be part of this, and that we're the dangerous and demonic ones somehow. Like, it's this weird perception, to the point that still many prisons, jails, schools, and churches still have long-standing established bans on Dungeons and Dragons.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's wild.
Yeah,
I feel like if
prisons that do allow Dungeons and Dragons have learned to use it as a therapy tool and have showed significant improvement in incarceration rates, insofar as people who come out more emotionally balanced and have that skill set to go back and go, I messed up. I'm not going to do it again. We're going to go out and we're going to be the hero this time. We're going to answer the call to adventure. We're going to do better.
yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like Dungeons and Dragons in like for people who are incarcerated, like in jails, would actually be a good thing.
Yeah, it would
100%.
actually be a good tool for reformation, not retributive justice, like that we
Correct.
so love here, but actual, like, how can help?
Mm-hmm.
We actually, unfortunately, it doesn't fix systemic problems. So
No, and
a
that's
whole other
kind
issue
of
I'm not going
like,
to get into right now.
well, I mean, we won't get into ad nauseum, let's say. But the two last bullet points on my notes for this subject were the portrayal in Stranger Things and how the parents and the authority figures learn to use it to help reframe their mindset around horrifying things, to allow them to feel like, nope, I'm the player character, I have agency. It's just this thing from the monster manual, and if I reframe it as that, that's fine. Let's go into battle. I got an armor class. I got a weapon. We're gonna do this. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna defeat the bad thing. As well as, Eddie didn't kill Chrissy, and because he was a metalhead that ran a D&D club and was a teenager, immediately
And
it's like,
was
oh,
drug,
this demonic kid.
like, yeah.
Looking at something and actually asking the question and not just inferring, even if you're 80% sure that you're right. Because my last point is the importance of D&D and mental health treatment combined. I want people to play D&D to help them process hard things. But I also want you to go to therapy. If you have the ability to go to therapy, even if you have the ability to just talk to somebody who is capable and willing to handle what it is you need to work your way through in a healthy way, I want you to do that. There's no shame in being on medication. It's not a crutch. It's an accessibility tool. You are at a disadvantage, chemically, for feeling how you feel. And it is no one's fault. It is not your fault. It's just a thing that happens. And if you're struggling, I want you to find that help. And if you're really struggling and you don't have the money to find help, I want you to use one of the tens of thousands of free resources that other countries have opened up to make available to us here in the United States and to other countries around the world that don't have that resources, such as Canada. Thank you, Canada. And talk to someone. Find that help and play D&D. I want you to do both, because your friends deserve a better you. And you deserve to still be here. Like, even when you don't see the worth in yourself, your friends do. And they are much better off for having you around. That's it. That's my whole thing. Yeah. It was all an elaborate ruse to tell you to go to therapy. Sorry. I believe next
Megan,
we
you're
have
up.
Megan with the Dungeons and Dragons movie, but not the one you're thinking.
All right. Yeah, so this will be fun. Not for me, because this movie was horrible. So like I was, there's like numerous films and televisions, other medias that like capture the spirit of Dungeons and Dragons, even if it's not officially associated with the game, right? Dungeons and Dragons, the 2000 film, is not that. This movie was
God no.
awful. It was my first time watching this movie, and I regret it so much. Ugh. Anyway,
On a
I'm
scale
just
of 1 to 10, what's the intensity of the regret?
very, very high. Probably an 11.
I love getting the text message play-by-play of you watching that movie and just the barrage of how awful that movie was in text form was.
Yeah,
That
your
was
live
probably
tweet
the
event went straight from me to Vince's phone. You would send me something and I would immediately screenshot it and send it to Vincent.
Oh my god. I love that. Yeah, so this film was actually directed by I believe this was his first and only film. His name was Courtney Solomon. Cast highlights: Jeremy Irons, Marlon Wayans, Thora Birch, Richard O'Brien, and even Tom Baker has a small role.
So this cast was stacked.
Stacked cast, like really good. And then like the main, I cannot remember their names, but the main two like love interests, they're very gorgeous. Like they're the quintessential 2000s like hot guy and girl.
Oh god.
So IMDb gave they gave this movie a 3.7 out of 10.
Oh, no.
It's
That's
got
charitable.
a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's more accurate.
And for me personally, because there were some very funny moments, I gave it like a 1.5 out of 5, which is
Shut
generous.
up.
Generous.
I'm so sorry to interject. Courtney Solomon, film producer, credited since Dungeons and Dragons with An American Haunting, The Strangers, Chapter 1, 2, and 3, which was massively successful with those creepy doll masks that they sold at
As a
Spirit
director
Halloween.
or like producer?
It doesn't say. It says he's a producer now, but it doesn't say if he produced these or if he directed them.
Oh.
Husk,
I think he
the
just
comedian?
no. Then he just produced. He's just doing production, then not directing.
God, I hope so. But man, oh
I believe
no.
I believe one of the like fun facts on his IMDb is like he bought the rights to this when he was like 19 or something, and it took like 10 years for this to come to fruition.
He's a
10 years.
producer on Red Sonja. It's coming out next year.
Sonja.
What is that?
Comic book character.
I don't think I've ever heard of that character before.
I'll drop you guys more info on her. Continue though.
Okay. So the production budget was about $45 million. And it only grossed like a little over $7 million on opening day, and in total $15 million. So that just shows you how bad this was. Like,
yeah, because you need to make usually double to triple to make back to be
Mhm.
considered successful, because of marketing and everything too. So
we're gonna play a little game. I know you guys have seen this movie, but
Not
I'm
in a
gonna
while,
read you. I'm gonna
Oh,
read you the
no.
IMDb plot, and I want you to tell me what you think this is about. So, all right. Profion, a tyrant, attempts to overthrow a peaceful kingdom ruled by a tough empress. That's it.
That's the
That's
whole
That's
the
all
thing.
it gives.
That's all. That's it. That's the whole thing.
Oh,
Unless it's been
Ah.
updated in a month, that's the whole thing.
that's rough. That feels bad, man. There could be anything. That is so
Right?
generic and like here's a bunch of pronoun or proper nouns and no context.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I'm gonna be so real with you. Profion sounds like a depression medication, so I don't know if he's the good guy or the bad guy.
my antidepressant is bupropion. It is right there.
Whoa. That's wild.
It is
But yeah, no,
right
it
there.
is missing like the whole other half of this story, which is a plot that includes like stealing a map to attain a rod that can control red dragons. Like, there's nothing about that in this. Like, it's so horrible. And I'm wondering if they intentionally left that off so people could just go into this blind and then be really shocked at how bad this is.
I don't know.
That
I feel
or
like there's a
let-
way you could
or
probably
say-
spin it to make it sound better.
The one thing I
Or
liked
it'd
about
say,
this,
hey, maybe we if we don't put enough on here, maybe people won't go to watch it, and we can save themselves the hour and a half of pain.
yeah, they better because this movie sucked. But I feel like everyone should go watch it because of how bad it is. It's like very campy now. So there are parts of it that I enjoyed. It feels like the whole movie was making fun of Dungeons and Dragons and it wasn't taking itself seriously, or half the time it was way too serious. Especially Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons is one of my favorite actors, and he was so over the top, like so crazy and unhinged, and just he has this weird like like he does this weird laugh and it kind of sounds like the ha cha cha.
Yep.
So bad.
I love how much he is chewing the scenery in that movie.
Oh
He
my
is
God.
feasting on it. He
Mm.
is having I don't
Oh
know
my god.
like who thought it was a good sometimes it works too and sometimes it's not. Like for
Like,
some parts you're like,
well,
oh yeah, it's great. And some you're like, why is this energy needed for this right now? This is
do
not
you know
fitting the vibe.
the reason he took this role was to pay for the castle he bought? That's it.
Shut up.
Literally, the quote is, and I
They
quote,
paid him enough for this movie to buy a castle?
"Are you kidding? I just bought a castle. I had to pay for it somehow." Unquote.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I am
God.
way too charitable because I thought I'm in the
King.
D&D movie. I'm gonna go and get a castle now with the money I get from this because that's fit. No. He just bought a castle, got the bill apparently, and then went, oh fuck. And then his agent gave him this script, and he went,
Hey, you wanna do a
fuck it,
D&D
let's go,
movie?
money.
Let's ball. And
This
you know, he's been in some
recontextualizes
other.
what I thought about this movie. I thought that it was like, oh, your average D&D party, so it's either not serious at all or died like. No, this completely recontextualized this for me. What the hell?
The fact that this movie just lacks, for me, it lacked excitement the whole time, straight from the opening monologue. Like, it was dull, it was monotone, and like they give you all this lore dump without actually going into any of it. So they never tell you really what anything means or what it is. There is a dragon introduced within like the first 5 minutes with like zero explanation and concept. So like, hey, there's Dungeons and Dragons in this Dungeons and Dragons movie, but they don't tell you anything else. It is so confusing. So the whole thing with the map to this like rod that controls the dragons kind of appears out of nowhere. so like the main two characters, I want to say it's like Ridley and like Marina or like Ripley. I gave up trying to memorize their names. They're in
It better not
this
be
like
Ripley. It better not besmirch Ellen Ripley's name.
I want to say it's Ridley. It just every time
How
someone would
dare
yell it,
you.
it sounded like Ripley to me. But it's like they're in this tavern and they say some like magic-y words, which for a movie that has magic in it, the magic sucks. We'll get into that. But
Oh no.
so they just disappear into this map. Like they are sucked into this map and you don't even see what's going on in that situation.
Oh my god, that's right. No, there's this whole thing that's built up, and then they just off-screen it
Yes.
while everyone else is standing around, fucking like.
They're just
I
hanging
don't know
out
what
in the
to do.
tavern. Like Snails, Marlon Wayans' character, is trying to like hit on some NPC, and then like the tall dwarf, is like just doing some barbarian like dwarf like making his beard all messy, like it. It's so bad. I wanted to know what was going on to move the plot forward. They come out of this map and they just tell you what happened. No knowledge.
The budget ran out. The budget ran out. They were like, "Fuck, we gotta
might
off-screen it. We gotta off-screen this fucking scene."
They might have.
Found it, by the way. It's Ridley and Marina. Ridley like Scott.
Gotcha. Okay. So I was right. Ridley and Marina, but it sounds like Ripley. I stopped, like I said, I stopped caring after a while. My my biggest thing about him though is that he is so 2000s frat boy coded that like it really turned me away. There is nothing fantasy about that man. He sounds like a 2000s white boy surfer dude. And Marlon Wayans' sidekick is no better. Sorry.
Oh,
I know you like snails.
Not snails.
I know you like snails, but he is no better.
Listen, I only like
Snails-
snails because I remember him not as a frat boy.
A lot.
No,
This
Snails
film
is-
had so much time gloss on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like Snails because Snails is if you look at that movie through the lens of you are watching the events of a D&D home campaign,
Mm-hmm.
then Snails is the veteran player who is just trying to have fun while everyone else is being way too serious.
But
the
his jokes are
entire
falling
campaign.
flat the whole time.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole
So
time.
like Snails is not like S tier character, but like Snails in that movie does what he can to say like the bar's on the floor, okay?
Right.
He's barely clearing it.
I feel
But
like
it's at least-
I mean, I don't know what the situation was, but because Marlon Wayans was filming Requiem for a Dream at the same time, I feel like maybe he needed something to offset because that movie
The
it
horrors?
goes so hard.
Oh yeah, it's hard. That's a rough movie. That's not it's a great movie, but it's not a
But
happy
also,
fun time movie.
Oh my god, the theme for that movie, top 10. Top 10.
Whew.
Musically, top 10.
One of the other things that I wanted to touch upon was so in the 2000s, this is coming right off of Star Wars. One of my favorite like actor and comedians, Paul Scheer, he called this movie literally, oh my gosh, where is it? I have this quote, it's hilarious. Oh, the worst parts of the Phantom Menace. And I know you said it's been so
Oh
long
my god.
since you've seen it,
No, but that's accurate.
but this is more geared, I feel, towards the Empress. She is a young girl who is in charge of this land and all these people, and her council of older men are trying to tell her what to do and how to go about things. She wants so badly to unite this land, and she has this cute little child voice, and she's probably like 15, 16 years old. And they make her wear ridiculous costumes that look very Queen Amidala-esque.
Yeah.
I'm remembering a Naboo dress type fashion in there. The big draped
Yeah,
flowy ones.
it was like gold and it had these kind of like spikes coming up out of the back of them.
Yes.
But they looked like they were like aluminum foil wrapped in like some sort of
Oh my God,
gold
no.
vinyl. It it was not worth that.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, to the point where at the end of the movie, Ridley is in like this black all leather, like swaggy, like Luke Skywalker at the end of Return of the Jedi costume.
It is. Oh my God, it is.
And so if you remember one of the parts they go to a Thieves Guild for trying
forgot
to
about
literally
that.
get an item, and there are these like weird alien creatures. They do not look like they belong in Dungeons and Dragons. They look like they belong in Star Wars. There's like, I think he was like purple with like an eye on the middle of his forehead, and I have no idea what it is, but it was very Star Warsy.
That's yeah.
Hmm.
I'm not
There's-
remembering it because I know that a lot of that is just like glossed over, but I believe it
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I believe
because
you.
thinking on it, like yeah, that movie is trying to very much because
Mhm.
Snails is fitting the role of Jar Jar.
Yeah, 100%.
Ah, you know, I didn't even
Unfortunately.
thought of it like that.
Everything problematic with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nope. Now that I think
fully
about
early
that,
2000s racism Batman.
that's
Yeah.
really
Uh
bad.
huh. Uh
Well, I know
Oh.
there's another reason why I hate this movie.
huh.
It's just a lot of inconsistencies in the plot. The
I
fact
do
that
remember it.
Hmm?
Oh, sorry, no, you keep going, keep going.
I was gonna say, like, the fact that they gave this movie $45 million, and what we got was
Insane.
so under what it should have been. Like this, I
Yeah.
$45
know,
million
like,
of 2000 money.
yeah, like I know CGI still wasn't where it's at today. It still wasn't in the prime, but it feels very low res, like compared to other films of the early 2000s, late 90s that were doing wonderful things. Like the CGI
Let's
took
see.
me out of the story. It's like
CGI
the
was
actors.
created in 1993 by Industrial Light and Magic specifically to create the dinosaurs for Jurassic Park
Mhm.
so that Phil Tippett didn't have to make 50 billion freaking dinosaurs and make
That's
them have
actually
bodies and
exactly
make
what I
them
was gonna.
walk.
Yes,
That's actually what I was
and
gonna say too,
So
because
7
Jurassic
years
Park
later,
has
they're
like
overpaying and
it's
underdelivering.
Mhm.
it's a little like when you look at Jurassic Park, you're like, it's not the best, but it still looks really good for
yeah,
'93. That
it
movie,
really holds
it
up.
was $63 million. 63 million.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry,
like
Most of
what?
that went to Jeff Goldblum.
He was a heartthrob at the time.
for me, it's the fact that so when you're using green screens, or like if you have really badly executed compositing, you can get like halo shimmers around actors
Yeah.
if you pay close enough
Yes.
attention. The amount of shimmers around these actors in various scenes of this movie baffled me,
no.
especially in the end of the movie where they are doing their final dragon battle, and Jeremy Irons is like looking over Ridley, you know, giving his like ha 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 monologue. I am the bad guy. I won. There is a shimmer around his whole head that makes him look like angelic, and I know for a fact that that is a green screen shimmer. Like
Yeah.
it,
Oh my
they could have
God.
done so much. I mean, I will say they did a really good job on some of the dragons and the beholder, the one shot of the beholder that is in this movie, but everything else
I need to contextualize that.
trash.
Keep talking. I need to see it though.
You're good. You're good. It's I've really, really wanted to like this. I really wanted so much more for this film, but it just fell so far from the mark. Like one of the inconsistencies for me is if you're going to have some sort of like high fantasy magic, do it well. The fact
Yeah.
that half the actors didn't know where to look or were looking at the wrong thing while they're shooting off magic, or I don't know, maybe if this was a story beat story plot that they just did not go over. But a lot of the mages, like especially Marina, did not use their magic to save them, like to do any sort of saving themselves. And I'm wondering if this is maybe just a 2000s damsel in distress, like frumpy girl turns hot, like
coming from the movie that gave us ill-fitting somebody else's female body armor complete with nipples.
Yes.
I wouldn't be
nipples and navel.
The elf ranger, she looked like Schumacher Batman.
Like it wasn't even her body.
It looked like it had been sculpted for somebody else. It was so bad. It just, this whole movie, like some more, like, I guess, mishaps. Like the dwarf, his beard changes colors throughout the whole film from like a dark red. By the time the movie ends, it's bright, fiery orange. Jeremy Irons' henchman, Dathomir, whatever his name is, has like a really cool, interesting look, and his lip color is this like beautiful icy blue. But over time, it becomes like dark glossy. It becomes dark matte, back to icy. It's bad. It's like take a photo, a reference, and use that.
We do get that villain does get like discount tadpoles basically.
Yeah. That was actually really cool. I thought like the whole tadpole thing in his brain to make him do the bidding was awesome, but at the same time it felt like he was already doing Jeremy Irons' work. So why does he need these why does he need these worms in his brain to make him do the thing? And then there was a really terrifying scene where he used those worm things to connect to Marina's mind to like mind read. That was so out of left. Like it was terrifying. I did not expect it coming. The whole like theming beat of this film was not leading up to anything that terrifying. So I don't know where that came from.
Pain.
Just
it just causes me pain.
I cannot, like, I am so speechless how bad this was.
Well, and you named it Dungeons and Dragons, which for me raises the question of, did you ask the people who owned Dungeons and Dragons? Did you have to ask them at the time? Did you bother to ask for maybe lore help? Because they did offer that at the time. I mean, Ed Greenwood would frequently look over Bob Salvatore's manuscripts for the Legend of Driz series to make sure everything was like copacetic, and they would trade ideas. Like, did nobody do that?
So I'm sure they did, because there actually is a novelization of this film, which is also considered really, really bad. It was written by Neil Barrett Jr. and published by Wizards of the Coast. It is called Dungeons and Dragons, the movie, a D&D novel.
So to be fair, none of this movie takes place in Faerun at all.
No.
There's a lot of Faerun stuff pulled into it, but there's a lot of those things will exist in other D&D settings as well. Dark Sun, Greyhawk.
I believe it was Izmir.
Yeah. So like that's why they don't have Greenwood or Salvatore or anyone else, because it wasn't in Faerun, so they're
I feel like, to me, they are still the foremost authorities on Dungeons and Dragons as a whole when it comes to like even lore that kind of transcends with the realm that you're in. And for me, there's just so many misses on a basic D&D level with this movie that it hurts.
The fun thing that I thought about after watching it was this supposed to have a sequel? Because the ending is so abrupt.
No,
it's
your
like,
face
so
says that there was.
I don't know. No. I couldn't find anything about if there was supposed to be or not. Was there?
There's two direct-to-video sequels.
Shut up.
No.
Oh my god, wait. You have to tell me what they're called later so I can put them on my list. As much as I don't want to watch them, I will. I will do it for this podcast.
Sign me up for the live tweet event.
I will.
Yeah.
But it's
Honestly, we might just have to film some of it and use some of the
So-
like, reactions.
spoiler alert. Snails dies. Really sadly, Snails dies.
Really tragically.
And it is tragic because it's like there was no reason for him to die other than like the hero's journey where the hero's best friend, brother, sister, whatever, like has to die.
Yeah.
And it was just I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Like it doesn't make any sense to me why they did things like that. There are so many beats that just don't make sense in this whole movie, and they got away with it somehow.
I don't know.
They
I
just
feel
cobbled
like
together
they were
plot
left
points
with
that they were like, how do
$45
we?
million unsupervised.
Right. The $45 million should have also gone to better music. I am a huge film score buff. I think music makes the movies.
Yeah. It's one of those
Um,
things too. It's good music is like
Yeah.
good Foley, good sound design.
And
You
with
don't notice how important it is until it's bad or it's not there.
Yeah.
and with fantasy films, I think it needs to be epic. And
100%.
Justin Kane Burnett, who did the music for this film, it was so unimpressive. It didn't do justice to the characters. They're sorry. I'm so
No, you're
passionate
good.
about
I just remembered
like,
something about Justin Kane Burnett.
Oh yeah. You want to know the fun fact about this composer? So he received a Stinker's Bad Movie Award nomination for Most Intrusive Music Score, which is similar to a Razzie.
It
I was
gets
gonna say
better.
that sounds like a Razzie.
Oh no, what do you
gets
know?
better.
Tell me. Tell
He's
me.
a student of Hans Zimmer.
Shut up. This is
He is a
This
student of
movie-
Hans Zimmer.
Oof.
He assisted Hans Zimmer, and on his bio, it's like, oh yeah, I assisted Hans Zimmer for a time, and then I moved on. I'm pretty sure if we asked Hans Zimmer, he'd be like, I fired that motherfucker. I fired that motherfucker.
I hate this so much. Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dungeons and Dragons 2000. I will say this movie is horrible. Do not watch. But make your own decision because it can be very funny. No, I'm not going to say like imbibe in some fun drinks or other things before you watch it because maybe that'll make it more fun. But
I'll say,
Maybe you
whatever
should.
your vice is, indulge in that. You're gonna need it.
indulge in that.
Responsibly. Responsibly within reason. 'cause,
Responsibly.
We'll
You
need
can-
it. Oh,
Okay.
It's they came out real quick. The two films. So this movie came out in 2000. It was 2005 and 2012.
2012?
Yeah, it's Wrath of the Dragon God and the Book of Vile Darkness.
Oh my god,
Oh
they
my
sound
god! I remember
The book of-
that.
They were both on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Shut up.
So if you're ever seen any one of those movies, you know how
Yep.
bad you're already in for.
Okay, I just put them on my
Listen,
list.
Nobody
What
is
was that
returning.
dish?
They're very
Nobody
low
is
on my list.
returning except for Damodar is in the second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I could get through it if he was in it because that was a solid
Oh,
character. The only character I liked was him. Everyone else. sucked.
but the Book of Vile Darkness, nothing to do with Vecna. No Vecna at all
Oh,
anywhere.
Oh
Okay,
my god.
they're on my
So,
list now.
Megan,
Very low.
if you had to rate this out of 10 dragons, what would you give the 2000s Dungeons and Dragons movie?
A dragon egg. No
An
dragons.
egg. Okay.
An egg.
No
An
dragons.
unhatched, made solid of stone dragon egg. So sorry.
Oh boy.
The penguin with the rock.
It's a rock. That's how
Oh.
bad this was.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Oh my god.
I'll never have to
I-
see it ever again, and that gives me joy.
Okay, if you're the mid tier laughter, I am a little scared of what our top
I-
tier laughter's gonna be because
I can't wait.
what?
I've got to really bring the big guns here. I got to really swing for the fences. So,
Oh my god.
a little context for how I got here. I was watching D&D Shorts did a video on the history of Faerun in like 15 minutes. And he at one point mentions Mystra putting a ban of spells over 9th level. And so my autistic brain went, what do you mean there's spells over 9th level? I need to
You're
know.
like,
I need to know now. I'm doing all of the research finding out. And so I found out there are spells past 9th level. There are 10th, 11th, and 12th.
ooh.
How we got to the ban itself, you have the event called Karsus's Folly. So in Faerun, in the realms, there is, in the canon, it's 1800 years ago. Karsus cast a 12th level spell. It goes sideways. It goes haywire, and I'll get into everything and more on that in a second. But Mystra, at that point, reforms herself and puts a ban on any spell. And it's actually that ban is why wizards must memorize spells, why only so many spells can be known at a time or cast in a single day,
Wow.
and why spells are linked to your spell casting ability and physical fortitude. That event is very responsible for how the magic system works as we know it now.
She just rewrote
now
all of it to put it on rails.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Now, you actually could cast spells past 9th level, but there were limitations. Now, there aren't any of these in 5e, because 5e kind of caps at 20.
Okay.
But there is a caster that I have notes in here for, who is level 41.
Shit.
You could just keep going. There was a math to it, and you could just keep going. So some of the old lore characters have ridiculous spell levels,
I believe the
or
highest
levels.
I ever saw was Gary Gygax was answering questions in a forum thread, like a chat forum thread, in the early 2000s, and at the time, I believe I can quote him as saying that he had a 49th level wizard.
How?
Yeah, I'm remembering that. So you could still cast them, but there was limitations. So with those limitations, first off, the first casting of the spell would fail automatically. However, regardless, anytime you cast the spell, you needed a second caster of equal or greater strength that was also helping you, and they had to use another spell to link their willpower, their mind, their life force, anchoring themselves to the weave in the physical world for you to cast the spell.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. If you didn't, you would cause a massive area-wide wild magic surge.
Whoa.
Yes. It would also incur a physical toll on the caster, taking damage. You would forget some memorized spells, and you could even lose levels.
Oh.
Yeah. Furthermore, Mystra and the other god of magic, he's more of the god of arcane magic, Azuth, basically set up push notifications so that if anyone attempted to cast a spell past 9th level, they got a little boop. Oh, hey, looks like so-and-so's up to some shit. And if you didn't pass their vibe check, they would immediately hit you with a high-level casting of Feeble Mind and burn the spell from existence. Yeah, it was insane.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't play with it anymore.
Wow.
So for the most part, most people are like, okay, yeah, 9th level spells, anything past that doesn't exist because you can't. So, but there still were. It just kind of left the greatest of casters known to it, or were aware of it. The Mystra also changed the enchantments around spells so they couldn't tap into weave without you having to change them back, or they would cause physical or mental harm if you didn't change them back to what they were supposed to be, things like that. So there was a lot of things in the way. Only those selected by Mystra, Ogma, Savras, and Azuth would know better and how to. So characters like Mordenkainen, Big B, one of my favorites, Tasha, Elminster, all of them, they knew because they were chosen and selected and knew. But
not Volo. He's not responsible enough.
no,
you
not
said
Volo.
you said Bigby, and all I can hear is Bigby's hand.
That is the man who created Bigby's hand.
Yes, I was like, that's
That
literally all I
is
can hear.
Scanlan's
My
hand.
brain just went whoop.
I couldn't find if he counts. I would assume though that Melf is as well.
Right.
Fun fact:
I
that
would
is
guess
Luke
so.
Gygax's
Creator of
player
Acid
character,
Arrow.
and it is yes,
Aw.
and it is short for male elf because he was a child and couldn't come up with a name.
Melf.
That's cute.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah. To be chosen of Mystra, you could bypass all these limitations and all of those other, like, you could just, like, Elminster can just cast past that without issue. He doesn't need any of these extra limitations or anything. But to be chosen, you have to at least craft a spell, and you already have to be one of these other Mystra or these other gods' champions. And if you actually don't become chosen before you die, but you are still a champion, you are, when you die, you're either annihilated entirely, reborn as a dragon, a beholder, a were-dragon, a unicorn, a will-o-wisp, a whiz-shade, a wingless wonder, or a tarsadar.
All horrible.
Wingless Wonder sounds like a slur.
It's close. It feels close to it. So, the only 12th level spell is Karsus's Avatar. He created the spell in the wake of panic caused by the founder of Netheril, Iolam, disappearing. He just fucked off. And I'll get into that later in the Patreon exclusive. But it was designed to destroy any god, his choice being Mystra, and usurp that god's power and transfer and confer that power onto the caster themselves. However, he didn't realize when he was making the spell, he made it wrong. It only borrows the power temporarily. So he went in wildly overconfident. And because of that, so when he cast the spell and cast it on Mystra, it did destroy Mystra temporarily, brought him to godhood, but again, since it was only borrowing those powers, she was basically immediately reformed, and those powers kicked back to her. It destroyed him and destroyed the city of Netheril, which was a flying city at the time. This spell is so ridiculous, though, of what it required to cast.
Currently, it is a pseudo-flying city once again, but there's only one islet. There's one.
Yes, Mystra did save when she came back. She saved like a couple of the flying, like, because it wasn't all like one. It was several different flying islets. I think she saved a couple
them
of them
and allowed them to become their own sovereign cities.
Yeah. So we don't know the full length of the components required for the spells. I was able to find one component. Or sorry, it's actually not even the component. It was what it took to get an enchanted component. Another component. You needed a stone-filled gullet of a golden dragon that had been soaked in a blend of Tarask blood and the bile of a 12-headed hydra, specifically 12-headed, not 11, not 13, not more than 12, only 12-headed hydra. And those were required to enchant one component. That wasn't even the component itself.
So you had to slay a hydra 8 times and then harvest its gullet before it could come back and fill it with stones?
Where do you even get all that stuff?
The gullet was from a golden dragon.
The gullet was from a golden dragon. That's right.
So you have to deal with a golden dragon, a Tarask, and a 12-headed Hydra.
That's
And
too much.
presumably
I
you have
wouldn't
to
do it.
turn that Hydra 12
Just to enchant one of those components.
Yeah, no. That's too much work.
Barring and excluding any preparation of the components, casting the spell was a 6-hour endeavor.
Jesus.
And it took him a decade to craft it. Which honestly, for the only 12th level spell, I feel like is pretty short, which, however, he did craft it wrong. So, you know.
Yeah, this
Whoa.
feels like a lifetime endeavor.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But yeah, it's 6 hours. No, like, you know what? I really got to hit the bathroom during this. I could use this. No, you are stuck there, waving your hands and saying words for 6 hours straight. That's rough, man.
Yikes. That's
Hope you
rough,
don't have
buddy.
to pee.
Yeah. Mystra, as soon as like the dust settled, she didn't waste any time. She found all knowledge, evidence, and history of the spell, its creation, any notes around it, and destroyed everything she could. Anything she couldn't, she sent flying across the cosmos. In each piece was in a separate direction.
Damn.
Yeah, she was not playing. So,
As if I didn't
have
already hate her enough.
fun fact: that's not the same Mystra. That's the third Mystra.
Listen, they all fall under the same umbrella for me. I don't like them all.
Yeah. You have it's Mystara.
How dare she
and then
protect
it's
the sanctity of magic
Mystra.
and keep men from ascending to godhood?
And then she's killed with the spell plague, and midnight a human is ascended to godhood and becomes the new mistress. So that's actually a former human that one you're aware of. Yeah.
Screams.
Yeah.
That's
Now
worse.
I found a list. There are probably more than I have on here,
Mhm.
but I did find a list of spells that go past 9th level. Now I did not write down their names. I wrote down what they do in what I think are funny and creative ways. Some of them more tame than others. And these spells are limited to, or include, but are not limited to, create a volcano, make an underground tunnel or cave system immune to cave-ins, change the climate entirely in any given region, so you could turn a desert wasteland into a verdant green forest, a rainforest if you wanted to. It's amazing. You could extend your life by 1 year at the cost of another person's life.
Oh.
Render an entire crystal sphere, solar system, unreachable by Spelljammer. Cleave the top off of a mountain. Open a portal to the 4th level of Lael. Sorry, you can open a portal to the 4th level of the 9 hells to get you in particular. Power word kill, but it's army-sized. Immunity from mythals, which are barriers, enchantments, changes to the rules of magic in a given area. So just nope, your change of rules doesn't affect me. You could functionally cast Spelljammer on yourself, and that was just
Superman?
the Netherese ones.
I'm gonna stop you right there. What is Spelljammer?
A Spelljammer is a spaceship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a Spelljammer is a spaceship. So a Nautiloid itself is actually a type of Spelljammer, effectively.
Okay.
A Spelljammer is a little more a specific type of, like a schooner is a type of boat.
Okay.
But you could. This is wrong. This is so wrong. I know, but like, it's referring to a Nautiloid as a Spelljammer is incorrect, but they function the same thing. They travel across a medium to different planets. So, but yeah, you could just turn yourself into functionally a Spelljammer to get yourself across space, across wild space. Yeah. Now, as far as the other ones, this is where things get really unhinged. And I've really taken a lot of liberty here with how I was describing these, but I'm happy with them. So you have Counterspell, but this time it's personal. Give lightning a soul, but not make it a real boy. Multiply Phylactery.
What?
Power word kill, so it's slowly just practically, or it's power word kill, but slowly, so it's practically just death by torture.
Oh.
It's now winter. Here's a thunderstorm, but we replace the rain with fire. You permanently
Jesus.
fly up now. Summon a red dragon. Summon
Okay.
a Balor, which is just the D&D Balrog.
Okay.
But that's still summon a
That-
Balrog. I'm sorry,
That's
what?
scary.
Summon a Behemoth. Summon 2 Mummy Lords. Summon 10 red dragons. Or summon yourself 5 minutes from now.
Cool.
Why?
Cool.
Cleave your
Is
body
the
from your
flying
own
up
soul.
perpetual?
Yes. Yeah, that one, the you just fly up now. You permanently fly up now.
And there's no way you stop. Like it's you just
I mean, if
I assume
with
if you hit
intervention,
something.
someone could stop you. But
oh,
otherwise, that's just you just are constantly moving up now.
oh.
Cloning, but like Mauler twin style from Invincible. So there's that. God is pissed at you. The spell. I'm rubber, you're glue for spells. I'm rubber,
Cool.
you're glue for arrows. Turn an
Ooh.
army into frogs. Raise fucking island. Tsunami,
Okay, Maui.
but make it 100% vegan.
You're welcome.
I don't get that one. What?
It is quite literally a like tsunami size wall of
It's a
plant
land
matter,
tsunami.
trees, vines, bushes coming straight for fucking
Oh shit.
you. Yeah.
Well, that's gonna do a lot more damage.
Jumanji, destination you.
Yeah. Dispel, but way fucking bigger, longer, and uncut. 5 fireballs at once. 5 fireballs at once with a different damage type. Cone of cold, but bigger, and then up to 5 people killed by that come back as whites.
Oh,
Killing someone with your thoughts. Power word kill, but silent, I guess. I like this one because it's petty. You lose all your spell slots for the day.
I like
It's
that.
just petty.
You looked at me funny. No more spell slots for
Yeah.
you.
no more spell slots for you.
Liquefy the organs of an entire army.
Ew.
Scry, but instead of just like I'm looking at you, no, it's I'm in your brain seeing what you're seeing and feeling what you're feeling.
Oh.
Invasive.
Oh.
Turn yourself into a dream larva. I don't have a joke.
What is that?
That is. I will get into a dream larva in the next episode.
Okay.
Mage armor, but this time it's a Gundam.
Okay.
Warding, but this time it's a fortress.
Okay.
Here come the spiders, fuckface. It summons 1,000 spiders, millipedes, centipedes, cockroaches, any gross scorpions, any stinging insect.
Nope. Bye.
On your head. 1,000 of them on your head.
Oh.
Warding, but
it's not
against
even the
you in
spiders
person.
freak me out. It's not even the centipedes freak me out. It's the skittering of their little legs
Oh. Oh.
across my body.
Yeah, and there's 1,000 of them.
So uncomfortable right now.
No,
Ward, but against you in particular.
Great.
Make someone your thrall.
Oof. Fun.
Yeah. Similarly, puppet on gear. This one is the spell name. Let go of me. It's actually a very simple spell. It ends the grappled condition. Grappled or
Okay.
restrained. Doesn't matter what it is.
In
You
real
can be in
life, I
the
need that.
belly of a Tarask. And you can cast, if you're able to cast Let Go of Me, you are
Wow.
out of that Tarask.
Gross.
You're out of the Tarask. You're out of the
Yeah.
Tarask.
You're out of
Ew.
your ass.
You could just create a new species. You can remove all the water from a given area. You can create a mythal, which, like, of course, there's that spell. That one's, change the rules of magic in an area. Duh. You can give yourself Black Panther's kinetic suit.
Nice.
You can remove fear permanently.
Ooh.
You can create a mimic, but it's a vault instead of just treasure chest. One of my favorites here. Power word kill, but from a great distance, and then I'm going to weaken it burns you so no one knows you fucking died.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah. I know you killed me, but try again, level of resurrection.
Weekend at Bernie, then.
Yes. It is not just you. You are focused on that task.
Okay.
There is, I know you killed me, but try again, level of resurrection. It's instant true resurrection, like as soon as you're hit. Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Resistance against you in particular. Drink you like a vampire without the fangs. There's an eclipse now.
Okay.
Resurrection, but you're gonna instead bring them back of human. You just bring them back all as ghouls, in mass. Flame strike, but 3 times bigger. Send you in particular on a one-way trip to any one of the levels of the 9 hells, or worse, the abyss.
Eddie.
Fireball, but it's cold. Oh, and the poor bastard killed by it immediately comes back as a skeleton.
These hurt me.
And a lot of these things, a lot of these kills you and comes back. You still have your memories. You just have none of your agency.
No. I'm here now.
And none of this includes Elven High Magic, which was made actually as a carve out between Coralon and Mystra. So I actually don't have any of those on here. That is going to be for another time.
That was a lot.
Yeah. High level spells get stupid.
That's insane. Like half of those,
you broke the dungeon.
half of those I would love to use, and the other half of those I would cry if they were used.
Yeah. Well, like the vegan tsunami is hilarious, just because.
No, that's terrifying.
I don't know that hilarious is a word I would use for that.
No, that's scary. That's
use that on somebody. Listen. If you could have cast that on Auril, you would have 100% done it, and you would have enjoyed every second.
Everybody in its path.
Facts.
You would have been like
facts.
I don't have anything. There are characters that you.
I don't have anything to say to that, but facts.
Yep. Especially because we're in the middle of the ocean too. It'd be even funnier. Just where did all of this come from?
We would have all died. That would have been my
100%.
fireball. That would have been my fireball. In fact, I did do that.
You did. You did actually do that.
I did do that.
Yeah, or like some of them too, like create sentient lightning. Like, why are you going to do that?
Sentient that's just like lightning.
A person made of lightning?
No, it's regular lightning, but now it has thoughts and feelings.
With thought and intention.
It gets to contemplate its own existence, but also it knows you exist and can strike you in particular.
Just because.
I don't know if that's something I would like or something I would really hate.
Depends on if you're casting or getting it cast at you.
Right? Especially with the new lightning arrows Imre has. Or little babies.
You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of the bullets from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Nice.
Where each of them is a little dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I have the same like thought process of the implications of like this killing machine has thoughts and feelings. You know, does. Yeah, so that about wraps up for my my section here. I do have more, but I'm going to save the rest of that for the Patreon exclusive. So
Oh,
tune
I
in
can't
for
wait to hear
that
those.
at
You
patreon.com/ATK of opportunity.
So, yes, you can find us on our Patreon. You can find all the back episodes of the Thieves Guild here on YouTube. Special thanks to Sirenscape, Owlbear Rodeo, Hero Forge, the Internet Archive, the Forgotten Realms Wiki, and all of its many wonderful contributors, and all of you guys. None of them pay us. Well, you guys do sometimes. We actually pay some of them. We don't pay you guys sometimes. Sorry about that. It's not generally how this whole thing works. We couldn't do this without any of you. And frankly, the fact that my job is hearing you two list unhinged shit from the D&D verse is excellent. I love this. This is a great way to spend my Sunday. Well, I'm aware it's Thursday, but it's my Sunday. That being said, if this is it for you on YouTube, hey, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the realms. If not, follow us over to Patreon at patreon.com/ATK of opportunity and become a member of the Keep, where you get access to behind the scenes goodies about the campaign, the characters, how we do what we do, how we make it happen, upcoming shows and events, and an extra episode of the Thieves Guild every couple of weeks. Otherwise,
Even some community day streams.
it's a community day streams. You guys got anything else? Are we ready to say bye?
Nope, I don't have
Bye,
anything
adventurers.
else.
Great. Solid. Perfect. How do I end this? Do I have an outro? Hang on, let me figure this out.